All right. Welcome, free media share. We are back. You can submit a video with exclamation SR. It might get played, might not. We are looking for all sorts of fun stuff. But yes, as we get closer to Halloween, we'll get spookier with it. Today's kind of just whatever. There's no specific thing. There's one video I have that's a little long, so we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're watching like half of it. So the time's a little off with the timer thing. But anyways, you can get your video in. You'll be up soon. Let's see what we got first.
This big brother is about to meet his little sister for the first time. And although he's still a little guy, his choice of words when he's looking right into her eyes are huge, and it will totally steal your heart, just as much as it did his parents.
Oh my goodness.
Look, look, look. Oh my god. Be careful. Oh my gosh. Be careful, buddy.
Did you just tell her you loved her?
Why did you...
March.
I guess just wholesome baby video? Wholesome baby video. Even though whenever I see stuff like that, I always can't help but think it's probably staged. Like they like shot that for like 5 hours until the baby said it. You know what I mean? But, or for like 5 weeks straight until it said it. That was Terry submitting that one, but no, there's nothing wrong with wholesome videos. It was more just, huh? Oh, okay, sure.
March,
Ma'am,
what are you doing?
wash the dishes. I just taking a picture of me.
I'm not taking a picture of you, but you making a mess. You got water everywhere.
Taking a video. Why are you lying to the kid?
You got shoes on, though?
I got shoes on though. What that mean?
So, go there and clean up.
What? I love those noises.
I don't know. Whoa, I don't know where I'm at in the... Cool.
Rob's loud.
Okay.
The house.
Well, don't get me wrong, but they don't. If we're going by looks, then it doesn't really have like you fucking cat. I think my cat just broke my sensor bar. For my Wii.
Yo. Cats hate Wii sensor bars. I don't know what the fuck it is about them. Luco, if I keep mine out, she will fucking destroy that shit in like 5 seconds. I don't know what the fuck it is. Cats literally hate Wii sensor bars with a fiery, hot passion. And I do not know why. The shape?
Alice, you're just doing nothing but ruining all my stuff, cat. Has the thumbstick that you have to hit, which is really cool. It's really nice for precision shots, shooting in a basketball game. It's smart, you know, but I am 80 years old and my thumbs are made of breadsticks, basically.
True. This is your issue.
Oh my god, this game fucking sucks. This game sucks. This is basically the worst Final Fantasy game. Seriously.
Why are you using Umaro and complaining about not having full control? Why are you not using like a smoke bomb or whatever the fuck to escape battles quickly? How can this possibly be worse than 1 to 3?
Come on, dude. Oh no, I wasn't looking! Sweet. What? Sweet! Yay! Yay! Happy little accidents. Also, so people are aware. See, did you guys see that? All right.
That can happen in FF7 as well. I don't think Umaru can. Wait, what happened? Wait. It's just not working. Do you change your sensitivity? I never have this kind of issue. I never have these issues. My issues are more like the board not working.
This is so fucking ridiculous, dude. Oh my god, please.
You gotta change the sensitivity on it, man.
Oh my god. Oh, there's the door! Oh, there's the door! There's the door! There's the door! Let's get that thing!
I call this skill issue. Nah, it's a skill issue.
Yeah!
I'm gonna play through this whole
Let's get
fucking
the
game
door!
just to show it's skill issue.
Let's make it so that every party member has to run away from battle at a different time than the other ones. Oh, that's gonna be so good. We're gonna make the best video game of all fucking time.
Why didn't you use like a smoke bomb or whatever?
All time. All time. The best one. Why is it that the damage... It's only been damaged once in this entire battle so far.
Counterpoints as well. I know the video's not over yet, but don't forget, the internet's favorite game is like Dark Souls and other games where like it's just, oh, it's unfair, bro. Ha, Lamau. Isn't it so fun, Lamau? So there could be a correlation between that and FF6. Like why Mega Man 2 is people's favorites for some reason. Gotta love that one boss that you literally just get soft locked on. Why is Mega Man green? It's called a power up. Or a fucking ability. Or whatever weapon. It's the thing of Mega Man that's
Alright, sweet. We have
the
zero
entire
lives, so
concept.
let's go.
What are you doing, Snake?
Yes, of course, that's what I wanted to do there. Of course.
Just one
Because
little...
I'm not trying to climb the goddamn... I'm not trying to climb the stupid thing.
'Cause you
off
can't?
The thing. Like, I'm pressing every goddamn button to get up there, and the game's just like, no, you can't actually climb the ladder right now. I don't know what you're thinking. We want you to hug the wall. That's your job, is to hug the wall right now. You only press triangle, like, I don't know, let's call it 1,000 times. Giant fucking tree thing has got, like, the most goddamn fucking HP in the history of mankind.
I'll never forget being, after Rob showed off Robotron 64, I went to my friend's house. And he had like one of those fancy arcade machine things. And I was like, yo, we gotta play Robotron. My friend told me I have to play it because I haven't played it. He's like, it's like a classic arcade game. And he's like, alright, so we find it on his list, we boot it up, instantly crashes, doesn't work at all. And I'm just like, still never gonna play this game.
It's the dude love of HP. Basically.
He looks like Eggman. Rob, rebuttal?
I don't get, so okay, dude, this game is a fucking joke. Oh, it's so good because you can skip everything. No, that means the game sucks.
I'm not gonna lie.
Giant glitches in your game, and 3D game does not mean good video game. It means it sucks. It means it's poorly made.
Say something.
What? Let's go, yeah! This game is great! This game is great! This is the best video game of all time. I take it back, I take it back, Rob running out of patience? Yeah. This is a pretty well good goddamn explanation for why I'm running out of patience with this shitty fucking game.
You went full angry video game nerd. Shitty fucking game. You gotta take a shit.
1, 2, 3.
I ain't gotta
Holy
take a shit.
I'm back. Hi.
You gotta take a shit. I don't gotta take a shit. I gotta take a shit. Then take that shit.
I think it's time we had a talk about the birds and the bees.
Oh god, no.
What's wrong, Maxie?
I just don't think you're the right person to talk to about this kind of thing.
You think I don't know about sex? How did you think you were conceived, silly?
I guess I'd always just hoped it was some kind of test tube situation.
I know I come off as silly and oblivious, but I have the same urges as anyone else. These primal animal cravings have persisted long after your mother's passing, and to this day I yearn for the next opportunity to take pleasure in the carnal union of flesh. Your dad doesn't just have sex, Maxie. Your dad fucks. Heck, one time a condom snapped off my ding-dong so hard it bounced around the room and landed in the back of my throat. Yuck!
I'm never going to have sex as long as I live.
That's all I ask.
So, let's talk about this video for a second. What did Goofy's wife look like? Was it like one of those women we saw in the cartoons and she fucking like that cow lady or whatever? Also, does that mean do you think Mickey Mouse is a passionate lovemaker? Like Goofy fucks. He was very, 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 very descriptive in which Goofy's desire probably has a fast. I love how when either one of you is not here, you always talk about the other person. Apparently he was stuck in an infinite loop in that one specific FF6 battle.
To talk about the birds and the bees.
Not again! No.
Today, we're going to focus on some new translations,
yeah, I see that, Cooch, I see,
details, and some newly discovered info about Gen 2's final build. Originally, Pokemon Gold and Silver were very different games that essentially followed the vision of Satoshi Tajiri, the series creator and director of Gen 1. To understand how drastic the change was, here's an excerpt from a Japanese magazine we had translated where the programmer Tetsuya Watanabe says, "That version's a completely different game from what made it to store shelves. Everything got remade after that. The first world map was very grand in scale, and based on the entirety of Japan. However, this meant we couldn't spare much cartridge space for each individual town, nor put much distance between them, so it all felt much more compact than the Kanto games. Development was a bit of a struggle, and things weren't going too well. Game Freak also felt tremendous pressure to up their game after Gen 1 unexpectedly became the best-selling games of all time. They didn't want to disappoint their millions and
yeah, like imagine that. You're just making this quirky little RPG game. And like, that quote's gonna come up when he's not here one day and he's gonna be confused. Like, what? That's what I'm waiting for. It's like 2 months from now. But what I'm gonna say is like imagine you just make like a quirky little game. And this happens to indie devs too, right? Mumbo agrees. But like you're just making this game, you're not really putting much thought into it. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, it's the best selling game of all time. Millions of people have bought it. So your next game better be like equally as good or better. Because if it's also not the greatest game of all time, then you know. Terry's not interested in this conversation though, apparently.
Millions of fans, so Tajiri stepped aside and let Junichi Masuda take his place and recreate Gold and Silver according to his own vision. The original Tajiri build of Gold and Silver is best known for appearing in the leaked Space World 1997 demos.
We've seen this before.
It had a unique Johto dex that ended up getting almost entirely scrapped, and all of Japan squeezed inside. In another Japanese magazine, Masuda explains his complete transformation of Gen 2, saying, "I took over direction of Gold and Silver from Tajiri, then went to Kyoto to create my vision for the Johto region. I remember staying at a hotel, visiting temples to gather information, then going back to the hotel and calling everyone, and we'd work out what to put on the map. For example, when I went to the pagoda at Toji Temple, the East Temple, I heard that a long time ago there used to be a West Temple as well. I thought, I want to use that, so I added the burned tower. Once I got back home to Tokyo, I had a good idea of what Johto would look like. In the Tajiri version, places had names like Mount Fuji, Silent Hill, and Old City. Some were probably placeholders, but regardless. In Masuda's version, they went back to naming places after colors, like what they did in Gen 1. Goldenrod, Ekritique City, and Mahogany Town, for example. In one of these magazines, they say they intentionally chose unusual and old-fashioned words for colors, so when fans got older, eventually they'd come across those colors as adults and think, huh, that's the name of that Pokemon town. Like Cyanwood City.
Bro. How has it happened to anyone else? Because that totally happened to me. Apparently, Layton and Luke is they've seen some shit. But like, yeah, it's like Clone Pusher saying, it was basically just a totally different game because, as I mentioned, it was more compact, based more on like actual Japanese history, different Pokemon designs because they weren't like trying to do more of Gen 1. They were just trying to do like their own thing. Like they were trying to think of this like continuous huge saga of things. They were just thinking like, oh, I guess it was almost like Final Fantasy or something where it was like almost like its own thing, like its own, you know what I mean? Like unique world that's not necessarily continuous. And they've always kind of lightly done that, right? They never really referenced the last games, except for Gen 1. Gen 1 will forever be referenced for some reason.
Most kids don't know Cyan's basically sky blue. Interestingly though, the colors that represent towns aren't the same between Japanese and English. For example, in Japan, Cyanwood City is called Tanba City, which is more of an ocean green, which makes more sense for a seaside city. Azalea Town's Japanese name is Hiwata Town, a dark brown color, which unlike in English matches the town's roofs. New Bark Town's called Wakaba Town, which is light green. Again, the same color as the roofs. And even y'all adults still don't know what Ekurutique City is. Ekuru's a light brown, but in Japan it's Enju City, which is actually red. As for Johto itself, we actually need to clear up some misinformation. In 64 Dream magazine, the interviewer asks what Johto means, and Masuda says, Jo can mean castle, so it's like the capital of castles. You may have read on places like Bulbapedia that Johto means castle palace or lattice-shaped palace. It ain't Bulbapedia's fault though. That info originally comes from the official English translation of Junichi Masuda's blog. Masuda had Hiro Nakamura translated for an English audience. Hiro's the guy who came up with most early Pokemon's English names. I'm sure he's a great translator, but he really didn't put much effort into Masuda's blog, which is apparent even for someone who can't speak Japanese. I mean, just look at this. Point is, the official translation is bogus.
Whoa. There's a person who turned 12 with Gen 1 and turned 22 with the next one. What was that?
But he really didn't put much effort into Masuda's blog, which is apparent.
What was that? They showed one Brock Lesnar clip already. I didn't think it was number 22 or 23. It was when he drove a tractor to the Roman Reigns truck. Interesting. And the Pokemon Gold and Silver will be back with far more excitement. It's been 12 years since we named new region Johto. 12 years? Johto means castle palace and lattice-shaped palace. Person who played the original Gold and Silver at age 12 turns into age 22. Wow. Time sure flies fast. Bro, the games came out like 4 years apart in Japan. Or like 3 years apart. And it's like, oh man, 10 years went by, man. Oh boy. Wow.
Even for someone who can't speak Japanese. I mean, just look at this.
I remember going from 12 to 22.
The official translation is bogus. Johto doesn't mean lattice-shaped palace. That doesn't even make sense. The truth is, according to Masuda in his mother tongue, Johto actually means the capital of castles. That does make sense because Johto is based on Masuda's walks through Kyoto, home to many of Japan's most famous castles. Gold and Silver were originally supposed to launch in 1997, but the complete transformation after Masuda took over meant it got delayed all the way to 99. There was also the matter of debugging, which took 6 months all on its own. When they started debugging, they didn't even know what Pokemon were gonna make it into the final game. According to Watanabe in one of those magazines.
Wait. Look at that. We got Papa Neko. Looks kind of, almost looks like a Secret of Mana thing. Wataneko. Oh, damn, we lost like a whole evolution line. The Papa Neko to Wataneko. And then there's Bararina. Oh, it's like a ballerina thing. Ripu looks like a... Is that just like the kid Jinx? Or Jinx Jr., whatever the fuck? Like a prototype one. Arabi, that's clearly the Electakid, but like redesigned. Gafudo, that's the Santa Claus one. Interesting. Kotara, look at this one. There's a later one that kind of looks like this. The one that's in Smash, the right, like that's the assist trophy thing. The Raichu looking motherfucker. Like he's like in Sun and Moon or whatever. And then I guess he has an evolved form, which is Raiatora. I guess they were, I guess they weren't thinking about like Pikachu itself would be so fucking popular that they just have to like reuse Pikachu specifically. They're probably thinking more like, okay, we need something that's kind of like Pikachu. You know what I mean? Like this world's Pikachu. But it's kind of cute. I kind of like its little derpy face. Madamu. This one's gangster, yo. He's like, yo. And then Norowa. This one looks like a cucumber. Or like watermelon or something. There's some cool ones. Like the Houndoom down here looking kind of different. These ones made it in. But yeah, it's stuff Coin was pointing out earlier. Just some absolutely huge differences. It's crazy.
About 200 ended up in the trash. We already covered all the Space World 97 demo Pokemon in older
that guy at the
videos,
grid.
so today we're gonna highlight a few who got cut even later in development. We commissioned some Sugimori-style watercolor from Racy Beep as per usual, who did all that Space World art a few years back. But before we get to all that, a word from this episode's sponsor, Factor. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your doorstep in just conscious dietitian fast food late at night. So if you like what you've heard so far, head to Factor75. The 2020 League box. This offer won't last, so again, that's code DigitalGaming50 to get 50% off your first Factor box at Factor75.com. And now, back to the cut Pokemon. The 2020 leak didn't include these Pokemon names, but according to Game Freak, a lot of them never had names to begin with. So let's start with this scrapped Tanuki Pokemon. Western Nintendo fans mostly know Tanukis from Tom Nook in Animal Crossing or Mario's Tanuki suit, but it's actually a real-life animal native to Japan, nicknamed raccoon dogs. This Pokemon's a reference to one Tanuki in particular, the villain of a Japanese folktale called Kachi Kachiyama. It's pretty weird, but to sum it up, a farmer finds a Tanuki in his fields, so he traps it to cook for dinner later. When the farmer leaves for town, the Tanuki begs the farmer's wife to set him free. She takes pity, but once it's free, it kills her, chops her up, and later tricks her husband into eating her flesh in a soup. Anyway, the farmer's got a rabbit friend who what
the fuck? Oh yes, a famous story we told all our children. So anyways, the raccoon dog came and murdered your fucking grandmother. Wait, what? Wait, what? You know, they're probably looking at Little Red Riding Hood like, what is this pussy shit, bro? I was funny enough about to ask before we heard the end of that. I'm like, can you have Tanuki like raccoon dogs as pets? Like, obviously not probably here in fucking Canada, but like, that'd be badass, man.
Swears vengeance, and later when the Tanuki's carrying some firewood on his back, the rabbit sets it ablaze. That's usually the cover on storybook versions of the folktale.
What if my wife's a
Tanuki?
Tanuki?
This Pokemon was the deranged, tortured Tanuki from Kachi Kachiyama. There was also this cute ghost flanked by a couple Hitodama. In Japanese culture, Hitodama are balls of fire that are dead people's souls separated from their bodies. That's why the ghosts' purple fires have little faces.
So like every video game.
Literally translates into English as souls of the dead. Conversely, this stork Pokemon with a baby in its beak was based on Western folklore. Exact origins of the myth are disputed, but likely began in medieval Europe, where human couples often married in summer. Also in summer, storks flew away on 9-month migrations, then returned with baby chicks at the same time humans were having their honeymoon babies. Storks also stay faithful to one mate for their entire lives, and they're friendly towards humans, so they make for good role models in traditional societies. More importantly though, most parents don't want to tell their kids where babies really come from. And that's how folklore that storks delivered babies was born, with this Pokemon.
And they were just like, do we or do we not include a stork Pokemon? And they're like, man, let me explain it to kids. You mean Yoshi's Island lied to me? We'll watch like another minute or two. This video's really long, but I want to just see another little bit.
Pokemon being a Poke adaptation of that medieval myth. This next one was a middle stage between Natu and Xatu. The sprite leak was black and white, but Natu
No
and
way.
Xatu were brown in Tajiri's Gen 2. So their middle evolution was probably brown as
No
well.
way.
After Masuda took over, the birds were changed to green.
Never
so
knew
if
this.
it hadn't got cut, the mid-stage presumably would have ended up green too. We'll do a few more rapid fire,
Damn.
like this flying squirrel with a sheathed sword and a ninja motif.
My
but
European
the flying
mind.
squirrel that ultimately made it into Gen 2 was Sentret instead. There was also this foxtail Pokemon who may have
sick.
wound up getting turned into Furret. This little
That's
dinosaur
lame.
got cut, but a similar design made it into Gen 4 as Cranidos. Likewise, this Cyclops Scorpion looks a lot like Gen 4's Skorupi.
Not
And
really.
this Koala Pokemon appears it was sorta recycled to make Kamala from Gen 7.
Kinda
There was
see it.
also a boar with antlers, a long-tongued frog, this rabbity Pikachu-y thing,
I love that thing.
and maybe the strangest of them all, this monstrous skeleton Pokemon. We're gonna debunk a couple big Gen 2
Go on,
rumors here
gum.
in a minute, but since we're already in rapid fire mode, first we want to toss out some random trivia we found in these magazines.
Do it.
Like that Gold and Silver were simplified for art director Ken Sugimori's dad. Sugimori let his pops play some Gen 1, but he couldn't even figure out how to leave the first house. So Sugimori had them simplify Gen 2 for folks like his old man, like making the UI dummy-proof and having the select button bring out your bike. See, haters, Pokemon's not a kid's game. It's for really, really old people, too.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Sugimori also made a Pokemon based on his childhood pet bird, who surprised him one time by standing on one foot. If you haven't figured it out yet, it was Hoot Hoot. Sugimori said it was his favorite Johto Pokemon. He also wanted to simplify all the Pokemon
that
sprites
guy.
from 4 colors down to 2, but the other devs called it an impossible request. Here's what Pikachu and Lugia might have looked like in that style, compared to how they ended up looking in the release version. Seemingly, Sugimori wanted them that way not to save space, but for minimalistic design sensibilities. They don't look great, but maybe they would have looked better on a tiny Game Boy with no backlight, in
Maybe.
Sugimori's opinion. The devs also say adding Kanto was an impulsive decision early in development. Someone just said it'd be cool, so they went and did it. It was already in that early Tajiri version, but all squeezed into the size of a single city. One of these magazines also shows Koji Nishino's business card. Snorlax is based on Nishino, so he proudly displays the Pokemon on his card. Actually, all the devs have Pokemon on their cards. They've changed over the years, but at one point Tajiri had Ho-Oh, Sugimori had Venusaur, and Masuda had Psyduck.
Awesome.
They later changed it to Pikachu and Pichu. Okay, now we're gonna debunk a couple long-running popular rumors about Gen 2,
Well, fuck.
starting with the oft-repeated claim that Gold and Silver were originally planned to be the last Pokemon games ever made.
Yeah, I remember that.
Here's a 2010 Destructoid article titled, "Pokemon Gold and Silver were meant to be the series finale." In 2019, The Gamer said, "Gold and Silver were once planned to be the final games in the series." The same thing from Screen Rant in 2022. Not just gaming outlets, a lot of fans believe it too. Here's a Reddit thread called, "Today I learned Gold and Silver were supposed to be the final games in the series, effectively ending the Pokemon franchise for good." Almost 2,000 upvotes. GameFAQ threads, NeoSeeker, it's all
True.
over the internet. We could go on, but you get the point. It's been a persistent rumor for over a decade.
True.
But it just ain't true. In a July 2000 issue of Nintendo Online magazine we translated, originally published before Gold and Silver had even released outside Japan, series creator Satoshi Tajiri and now president of the Pokemon Company explained Gen 2's development. The interview asks if Gold and Silver is the end of the story. Tajiri says flat out, no, it's not the end. So
Nah, bruh.
how'd the rumor even start? As the basis for their claims, those aforementioned news articles cite a 2010 interview where Ishihara said, "I worked with the assumption that after we put out Gold and Silver, my work as far as Pokemon was concerned would be done. I didn't intend to make any more Pokemon titles." But he's just saying he was done.
In fact, it
not the
sounds like he
franchise.
was.
Throughout that same interview, Ishihara goes on to say, "For me, Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver represent the finish line. I didn't intend to make any more Pokemon titles. It would be time for me to do something else." Every Pokemon game up to that point was made by 10 or 20 developers and
Damn.
sold in the tens of millions. They
Damn.
were ridiculously profitable. A lot of development was literally done out of a house. They didn't even have to pay for office space. Game Freak would have been swimming in cash even if they were only selling 1 million. Ishihara wasn't a developer. He did do some consultation on the games, but first and foremost, he was the guy who sold merchandise and licensing deals. He was worried Pokemon Fever was cooling off, so if sales really did drop significantly, there wouldn't have been boatloads of merch and licensing anymore. so he was considering moving on and taking his business skills elsewhere, but ultimately decided, quote, I couldn't very well get off the ride halfway through. Pokemon was a monster IP in every sense of the word, and Gold and Silver...
I would say go back and, if you're gonna go back and revisit that generation, I just play Emerald. Because Ruby Sapphire is alright, but then like Emerald's just so much better. It has so much extra content and stuff. And it's like really long. And it's like the same, you know what I mean? It's like the expanded DLC version, basically. But that game is so good. I also didn't play it growing up either. I only played it like 5-10 years ago. No, it's probably like 10 years ago now at this point. And I still trade up the Pokemon I had from that game into newer ones. But 100% worth it. Such a good game.
Were never gonna be the end of it. Of all the parallel universes out there, not even one of them would have seen Game Freak go back to making games like Quinty and Pulseman.
I don't know
The
Pulse
other
Man.
rumor we want to debunk, and we say this with nothing but love for Satoru Iwata, was that he wrote a compression algorithm that increased the storage space in Gold and Silver. Some versions of the rumor even say Kanto couldn't have been squeezed in without him. Tech Radar, Kotaku, and lots of websites published articles saying Iwata crammed a whole country into Gen 2. Heck, even we said it in an old video. Whoops. But most folks could be forgiven for thinking the rumor was true, because an old Game Freak interview and even some in-game dialogue in Ultra Sun and Moon seemed to confirm it, where Morimoto's in-game character says, when we were told halfway through development to make Kanto 2, I thought I might just expire on the spot. When we were having trouble fitting all the data in for Gold and Silver, and we were really in a pinch, this amazing guy came along and made a program for us that solved all our problems. He went on to become the amazing president of a real big company soon after that too. To get to the truth, you can't just look at interviews on the record. You've actually got to dig through Gen 2's data. Doing so reveals that Iwata did write an algorithm for Gold and Silver, but it actually decreased the amount of storage space by a few percentage points.
My man straight up just put his name in there. He's just like, bitches, I made this shit.
In other words, Kanto made it into Gen 2 in spite of his algorithm. They could have added even more real estate if they stuck with Gen 1's algorithm. So, why didn't they? Well, Iwata's algorithm wasn't built for size, it was built for speed. Right now on the left, you're seeing the compression algorithm from the 97 Tajiri version of Gold, which used the same compression algorithm Gen 1 used. On the right, you're seeing Masuda's final release version, using Iwata's algorithm. Iwata's compression saves a fraction of a second at the start of a battle, another fraction when the Pokemon come out, and lots of other places. Basically, it all comes down to faster load times. We don't want to bog you down in too much technical jargon, but his Gen 2 algorithm was a tweaked version of the 1989 algorithm used in Earthbound and other HAL Labs games. The company Iwata was programmer, then president of, before he became president of Nintendo. In the code, Iwata himself calls it a high-speed algorithm. The real reason Game Freak was able to squeeze in Kanto was because they upgraded to 1 megabyte Game Boy cartridges for Gen 2. While the earlier games only had half a megabyte.
Damn.
In other words, they doubled the cartridge size. A big thanks to Lord Danimal and Team Space World founder San
And those
Quinty
are 2
for showing
megabytes
us
anyway,
this
it's funny.
code. We wouldn't have even thought to go digging without him. They showed us about 5 years ago, but it felt inappropriate to share so soon after Iwata's tragic passing. Now enough time's gone by, we hope it doesn't feel disrespectful. He may not have given us a whole extra region in Gen 2, but he did save us from a
Why would that be disrespectful? Huh?
annoyingly long load times, so for that, Iwata-san, we thank you. At the end of one of those Japanese magazine interviews, they asked Game Freak that now Gold and Silver's finished if they felt like they'd completed the games they wanted to make. They all said in unison, not even close. Masuda continued, saying, to us, they don't feel fully complete. They'd pushed the Game Boy Color to its limits, but there's still so much more they wanted to do. In another translated interview, Tajiri said, I'm thinking the best Pokemon game will be released sooner rather than later, but whether or not it'll be the best Pokemon game is something I can't achieve on my own. From here on out, kids who grew up playing may grow up to be game developers, right? And if those kids have the same vision as us, then I definitely think it's possible to expand the world of Pokemon by working together with them.
That was in 2000.
Tajiri's prediction came true. The day Gold and Silver released in Japan, a young man was in line at the store at 7 a.m. waiting to buy them. 10 years later, he was the art director on the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver. His name? Takao Uno. If you want to learn lots more about those remakes, make sure and subscribe.
His name? John Pokemon. Yeah! But, and the whole point that they're making too is that Heart Gold, Soul Silver is considered like the best Pokemon games ever. So, it's very interesting how his name, Ash Ketchum. But, even with, I saw that with the Double Fine documentary stuff, because that went on for like so long. Like 2012 or 11 or whatever to like last year or whatever, a few years ago. There's like people who like watched the first documentary and then were in the second documentary because of so much time going. So like, oh, I watched the first one. I wanted to, you know, be at the company. But we ended up watching that whole video. I didn't mean to, but honestly, I found it very fascinating. The fact that, like, we already knew much of that stuff about Gen 2, but a lot of the rumors being debunked, I thought was very fascinating. That was Did You Know Gaming, you know, classic site. I think everyone knows them. But I saw that video just released today, and I was kind of like, like, how could there possibly be new stuff? You know what I mean? A lot of it was more just clarifying information that, you know, we kind of already knew for the most part. But seeing the stuff like the algorithm side by side, just kind of the little smaller details was kind of cool. Or even just learning about some of the, you know, the nitty-gritty stuff. Anyways, what do we got?
Meals, the debut of Public Enemy. Let's get down to the ring.
Oh, this is Rob saying.
Order here. And Timmy, don't do that on heated shoes. Not again. Public Enemy.
If I don't say something, then I steal it.
Had been scheduled to appear here on Nitro, snowed in New York a couple of weeks ago. Couldn't get out, and we have got the debut of Public Enemy right here on Nitro.
Look at the dance.
By nature. Is that what that says? If these guys are
React harder.
They are ugly. They're going to be something to be reckoned with. Violent,
React harder.
Johnny Grunge, Flyboy, Rocco Rock. Oh yeah, Rocco Rock with his back to us. They're not around, are they? They're from South Philly. They're two boys from the hood, and if they want to rap, they'll rap. They'll do whatever.
They're getting
they
hype.
want to do. These are tough customers.
Now come on, get hype.
We'll do that in just a moment.
You cut your chat. That's crazy. Oh no, Quan Pusher, you want to see my XQC impression? I'm gonna react to this video. You ready?
For two-time cruiserweight champion, world champion Carlos De Leon. Rocco Rock, I believe he had 22 professional wins as a boxer. We're gonna try to get a little bit more background on Rocco Rock. Well, I would imagine the American males are gonna try to keep that punching bag.
I just shit in my pants.
Males, I'll tell you what, they've been doing extremely well.
From the song. American males. American well. You do it so well. Dude.
And their ex-tag team champions. 3 words. Flying drop kick. They've turned it into an art form. 4 words. Flying drop kick won't work. I had to count there. We'll find out. Oh, Heenan. Just because your head's shaped like a hubcap doesn't mean
no shit.
wheel around here, Hall. And we are off.
Is it like a synced up fight?
And we've got American males taking it to
Yo, what?
Public Enemy, and this is where the
We're gonna coordinate this ass kicking right now.
only the best. Each and every week, WCW bringing you the newest, most exciting, explosive athletes in our sport. Yeah, that's what the big
He's like, yo, dude, shut the fuck up. We're off time now, man. We're supposed to be in sync, man. You grabbing his dick? God, can't do the dick grab. American males. American males. No way, these guys are. What do you mean? You don't do the fucking synchronized Battletoads fucking beat 'em up shit with your boys. You telling me they didn't just perfectly walk right into the center to take that elbow to the face? That cameraman gave it away there. I love how they actually are just called American males. Still impressive, like flips and shit though.
I mean, these guys really have a temper. You know, they're not.
All right, here we go. Synchronize. Do it.
They're not allowed to go to see the Eagles play or the 76ers.
It's like the one twin is like really bad at synchronizing.
They do nothing but cause trouble. They get on the ice.
They're not fighting for freedom.
Just two tough guys that don't care.
This is something I've wanted to do on stream still, but I'll say it out loud. But you know, like how people do the WWE game with the AIs. We do that, but with like, you know what I mean, all the stream memes. You know, so we have like Big Chungus and Mega Man and Eberk and shit. Eberk with a chair. Oh, perfectly reasonable reaction to that drop kick. Oh, I like the fucking that death was sick. This blood sport. I probably heard of it. MTV Celebrity Deathmatch. That was the, is that the claymation one? I remember having a video game of that on PS1. Yeah. I remember having playing the shittiest game ever of that. I feel like these American male guys aren't the best actors. Okay, that was legit.
Like a basketball in the center of the ring. And in case you just joined us, wrestling fans, yes indeed, you heard it right.
I feel like these guys aren't. Okay, that one was legit. That one looked fucking legit. I mean, I know every single thing is safe, but I love that, just the, like the elbow clips. I've never seen that in wrestling before. Is that like their thing? Is that, did he pants grab him? Did he give him the pants grab? Did he give him the fucking the American male? The ref is not helping right now. He gave him a Wario check. That one guy came in with the fucking Wario elbow.
For the public enemy. What? Now, that's just ridiculous.
King would still kick their ass.
He must have had a handful of
bro, King would not be fair, bro. You can't bring King into this. Yeah, that would hurt regardless, hitting that fucking rail thing. Fuck that, that would hurt.
Now these street guys, this is where they excel the best. No rules.
American Mouse.
No disqualification. The match is over. Their opponents
oh shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh!
What's he setting up the buffet table?
Oh yeah, you got a chance, yeah.
They're gonna get some Philly cheesesteaks going for the crowd, I guess.
They do such weird punches. Like, usually they do a better job of making it look like a punch or whatever, you know? They're like,
all the while, Johnny Grimes is rearranging the furniture here. Wait a minute, this is
it's gonna be some serious shit. Double table. Okay, okay. Double decker. I love how they said that.
They do the same thing at Denny's. Somebody call the paramedics. We might have an injury going here. Oh, you're gonna have one.
Is he gonna go on the inside or the top? Okay, that makes sense. All right, this is some serious shit. American males.
Watch this.
Public enemy. Oh! Oh! I think he actually hurt himself.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
I think he actually broke his wrist.
This is out of control.
That one guy actually got fucked up, I'm pretty sure. They both probably got fucked up, let's be real. There's no way you go through two tables, even if they're like stage tables. They have a mat there, that still wouldn't... Bruh. That was impressive. That it was worth seeing those shitty punches just for that crazy ending. What the fuck? They were saving it up. Nasty Boys versus American Males.
Bob Wall coming away exclusively on pay-per-view. If you haven't ordered yet, do it now. You still have time.
What year is this?
You don't want to be left out.
Okay.
All right, the Nasty Boys gonna be some clever going on for the elect.
Time to get antagonized, is that saying? 95.
Is unbelievable, Eric Bischoff, and I guarantee
so you could have been playing Donkey Kong Country 2.
in the camp of
and like Chrono Trigger.
I don't know if you can deal with it.
And instead, you're watching this.
A lot of trouble though back in Hulk Hogan's locker room amongst the team.
That woman was not hype. She was like,
Yeah, well, Randy Savage don't even want
I know, when it does like the tracking.
This is your main event as we get ready.
Bro, they look like characters you beat up in a beat 'em up.
Before the American males come out to thank all of you that have made WCW the most watched wrestling
TV for games, TV for wrestling.
in the world.
That's pretty, for 95, that's pretty badass. Like, no one really had 2 TVs.
The American male.
Or if they did, it was like different rooms.
Scott Riggs.
American Mess, that's the fucking song. Bro, these guys, I have new respect because of the double decker. Just taking that. Oh, is he doing a double fight? I don't think I've ever seen this before. Or is it just they have 2 rings side by side?
As soon as we return, as the countdown to Fall Brawl continues.
Welcome down to the 1940s WCW Brawl. We all have our finest pantaloons on today, ladies and gentlemen.
Your main event, the Massive Boys taking on the newly formed team of the American Males. Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Scotty Riggs. Scotty Riggs, the first man in.
He does sound like he's in the fucking like 40s though.
On the offense, takes him into the corner, and it's right to left, and down goes. And I mean down hard goes Scotty Riggs, and Jerry Sags is livid. Well, I tell you what. I mean,
Was that just like a burger we just watched? What the fuck? That was the least wrestling thing I've ever seen. What the fuck? Did he actually like sleep with his wife? So no, I'm actually gonna just beat the shit out of you. Oh, it's like the trick. No.
No way.
I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you. Oh.
Oh man, that clothesline.
There you go. Now we're getting in some moves. That was, I don't know what happened that first fight. He just was pissed. But there was some personal beef there. Oh, the trick, the reversal.
I would say a good old Texas, and I won't say the word.
They definitely got better at their presentation as they got on.
They got them down, and they got to keep them down because if the American
like even within the 90s.
they could cap a win right here. Scotty Riggs, oh man, and look at this. Oh,
yeah, that's the suspenders. That would actually be pretty epic. That'd be a good channel point. Ooh, I don't think that would hurt to miss, even with the bouncy stage thing.
I don't know. She's got no reason to be there.
Yeah, why is she there? Wait, what? Oh, what fucked up shit is about to happen, dude?
I'm telling you. But I don't know what this
to be fair, like, and I've said this before, you still have to like take a kick to the face and shit, and like know how to stand and how to react, and like you're still like going through 2 tables with a dude jumping on you. You know, like some of that shit is like not like you're still that still happened. There's still like stunt tables and shit, but it's still like it's still you can't just like walk on and do it. Like you still kind of have to know what you're doing. Steven, those things are always so funny when you post those. Like Steven Seagal is a known like actor, but he can't act for shit. Here he is in a spy movie.
What more can you want for right here?
What is? And this is the kind of shit that I kind of miss. Like I haven't watched wrestling in like forever. Like I only watch it vicariously through like this. And this shit kills me. I miss this shit. He's proposing to her. Whoever the fake Mega, the SmackDown 25 moments thing is kind of disappointing. That makes sense. They would go with the more recent stuff. Because they're trying to appeal to like the current generation of viewers. Like the stuff that gets the views and the clicks. Or we're probably like viral moments. Like got 1 million views on Twitter.
He goes for the pinfall. Well, they've broken loose in there now, all 4 men. Mr. Anderson got to get him loose from that. We're talking about roll. Hey, we got it all going on here.
Like, that dude still just dropped like 10 feet to the ground. You know what I mean? Like, that shit would still hurt. Trying to push their product. Oh, is that the, like, watch the clips on our app thing or whatever? For $90.99. That's cool, though. They had to have some, like, Attitude Era stuff, because that shit was, like, iconic. You think they'd want to push, like, having The Rock and stuff there? How big of a star he is. Brock Lesnar just joined the ring with Big Show. I think I remember that. I feel like they called, or maybe it's delayed on sound. I'm like, they called 3 and like he was already off. Like he didn't even have him pinned. He was like already off. These guys were reading ahead on the script, man. So yeah, they just had the 2 rings for just so the next fight can go. American males, American males, American males. Bro, you gotta pay them block up. Your videos haven't played yet, so you just gotta chill, my dude. You're clearly just like not even paying attention to anything. We've been watching American Males for like 15 minutes. All right. American Males. Also, how much is left of media share? Might need to close queue.
Oh yeah, just.
Oh no, we got. I do want to get back to Resident Evil though. So if you got last videos, get them in. Yeah, fuck the sponsor guy. Today on HelloFresh, we're going to Silent Hill. Actually, no, I'm picturing a Mr. Beast video. I've got $10,000, and I'm going to be going to Silent Hill to see if I can survive 3. No! Yeah. You might not want to watch the whole video. Just going to go through the samples. We're listening to the fart sounds, all right? You submit the fart sounds, we listen to the fart sounds. Like I said, I've only really played Silent Hill 1 and watched like speedruns of the other ones. I don't like know the sounds really well, you know? I won't even be like, oh shit. I would just be like, huh? That's also how you test stuff. I know you've heard those before in the things where it's like doon 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 doon. Because you go from C to C, right? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So how the fuck do you expect me to react to this, Coin Pusher, huh? I'm supposed to make transformative content here. And I'm sitting here wondering. Listen like one more. Yeah. All right. Jesus.
He's a man. Such a man. Such a man.
Take me back to Silent Hill, please. Take me back to Silent Hill, please. What the fuck?
Such a man. He's a real man's man.
What the fuck? Is he though? Is he though? That's not even Steven Seagal, that's Steven Regal. Does like Steven Seagal's like arch enemy or something? Does Seagal and Regal like get together and they both like chop axes together and like measure their dicks and shit? What is he doing? Did he come into that orange juice glass? What am I watching right now? Is he dumping loads? Why is he straight shaved? He's gonna cut his neck. Bro. Steven Seagal. Steven Regal. I feel like Regal would kick Seagal's ass. That was the best wink they got though. This was a rib. He's supposed to be a stuck-up blue blood from the UK. So they're like, yeah, they're like parodying that he's like, I'm the American man. But he's really like, UK is like, oi, oi, governor. How long is this? Checkers from the wood shipping just make him look Canadian to me. Yeah, it's getting more like Canadian vibes a little bit, yeah. I'll give you that. Canadian. A little bit of Canadian. I'm actually kind of excited for this movie.
I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes. The security guard.
I will take anything.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids. They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
Dun 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 dun.
I understand.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
There was an impressive PS1 port of this game we saw. Or not we saw, but I saw. It's Chrono Trigger.
You must be new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them.
It's more Bugs Bunny.
In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
There are ghost
Kid's
children
dead.
possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
Moist meter this bitch.
They're animatronics.
When the night shift starts,
They want to make her like them.
Papi!
the nightmare begins.
It's too late.
Papi, go!
Mer, 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 mer. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Why do I always get the weirdos?
The like costume shit I'm curious about. Isn't it like not like they actually use like real puppets and shit? What the fuck kind of terrible ass quality is this? No, I'm gonna spend 3 seconds right now and find a better version. How the fuck did you think this was acceptable in any capacity? How, in this day and age, this golden age, remember what was a 2023 clip? Not even worth my time searching. We'll just sit here and barely hear the audio. We'll probably hear the guy like breathe and laugh. It's such a funny clip too, I'm sure. Harry Smith, of course. Who else? Who the fuck else? Who the fuck else would submit this? One of the bees is trying. Okay, I can't. Terry's banned. I'm closing queue. It was just Terry spamming shitty videos. We're closing queue. Queue is closed. Dee, 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 dee. Man, I wish I could hear the clip right now. I think I know the show like the back of my hand, but man, imagine actually submitting a clip that's watchable. Man, imagine not feeling Q, might close later. Don't wanna be a true hater. This is hilarious. I can't believe it's not
Come in. Sit on Daddy's lap. How old are you, little friend? Less than
I'm
half
out.
my age.
Nah, I don't know.
That's
No.
Okay.
What Dilbert be doing, yo? Why are you kissing E.T., Dilbert? Oh, what's on E.T.'s finger? That better be the glowy thing and not a condom or something. Why? Why is Dilbert in love with E.T.? Why? What? Why did E.T. break Dilbert's heart? Or did Dilbert break E.T.'s heart? You're saying that as if I have any idea what the fuck that video was, Terry.
Okay.
Never submit that again. Wow, Shrek is piss. They looked up a stupid Roman Reigns from his bloodline guy breaking up. That's dumb.
Dilbert, we need to talk. From now on, I need you to wear this.
Yeah, I thought it was that piece of shit guy. That's also why I skipped. I was
I
like,
need you to wear this polo tie. It's office policy.
my block's not here, so I have to kind of, you know, moderate. I'm having like an existential moment with this video right now.
Welcome to the watering hole. You come here to wet your whistle?
This is like what every RPG Maker game. I think that this feels like every RPG Maker game I've ever played. It's Momari shit.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
You think they're gonna pull a rock clip, right?
And the top 10 used up players. They're a fucking Bronco of tackles this season.
Bro, is this actually the promotion hallway?
Hey, I want you to check out this website. Go to www.nfl.com and just check it out.
It's just like it's the promotion hallway. I know, it kind of looks like it too. So Dilbert?
Did you say football? Cleveland Browns, Buffalo Bills, Seattle Seahawks.
Get your flu shot. You got better 5G now.
Cincinnati Bengals, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, I'd still get your flu shot.
Miami Dolphins, Washington.
So gonna get shots if you can get it.
Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans.
Stay up to date. What is? Why did he kill him? But that guy was kind of cool. He was your homie.
What's Dilbert going to get into next?
What? The fuck was that? It's like butter. Travel through time. Save the world. Lose your luggage. Squaresoft.
Superintendent, I hope you're ready for mouth-watering steamed ham.
Beautiful! Delicious!
All right, listen up, everybody. I have something to tell you. I'm not quite sure how to say this.
Hurry up, will you?
I'm fat.
Yes, very chubby and nice and good and beautiful.
Get out of here!
You know, these hamburgers are quite similar to the ones they have at Krusty Burger.
Oh, no. Patented Skinner Burgers. Old family recipe.
You know, I'm a bit of a frackhead myself.
I say the funny.
Peter, you should really slow down. You've already had like 30 hamburgers.
Shut up, Brian. It relieves the pain of mustachelessness. And it's working. I no longer feel the pain.
Not seen his debut. That would have been
number one. Well, Seymour, I must say, you steam a good ham.
Good! Will, are you okay?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh my God, someone call an ambulance.
Mamma mia, the horror.
That's how we're gonna end media share? Nah. 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 I'ma do my own thing. No, we're gonna do, there's only one way to end media share. We're ending it with this. Alright.
Guess what?
What?
Can you keep a secret?
Maybe. What is it?
Come here. Look.
Wow.
See? Isn't it neat?
What is it?
I don't know, but I found it first, so it's mine.
What's that up there? Is that cheese?
Could be. It sure looks like something to eat, doesn't it? I wonder how this works.
Hey, don't touch it if you don't know what it is.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, I'm not sure. I just think that if we don't really know what it is, we shouldn't touch it. It might hurt us.
Well, then what should we do?
I know that some things are okay, and some things are not. And I think if we don't know, we should ask.
Ask who?
Somebody who knows about stuff like this.
Oh, you mean like Mom or Uncle Fred?
Yeah, or somebody else we trust.
Or Uncle Fred? Yeah, or not them.
We don't have to be afraid.
What did Uncle Fred
but
do?
We do have to be careful. Just because somebody leaves something lying around doesn't mean it's okay for us to play with.
Well, I found it, so I get to tell first.
Hey, wait for me. Race you home.
A message from concerned children's advertisers. They were concerned, man. They were so concerned that they had to give us sentient mice. I don't wish that upon anyone, Terry. That is the ending of the story. Bro, it's in Canada, man. What do you we were smart kids, Coin Pusher, all right? We had talking sentient mouse telling us not to eat strange cheese we find on the ground and tell Uncle Fred, all right? We didn't need no cherry-picked, ham-fisted, fairy tale Dutch ending, all right? Whoa. I'm sure that the fucking Belgian fucking European version Dutch shit is probably like, and then they all died in a fucking fire, never talked to each other, and all in their own little houses, never said anything. And then they chopped their feet off or something. I read some grim fairy tale shit, man. That shit was just like, and then they like killed them, I think, and then everyone was angry and died, and more people were dying, and everyone was angry, and I guess they died. Yes. Anyways, let's die and get angry.